Other members, prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic, thou members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served. Their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Why does it appear that the minority is today made up of only Bodi and Asamienso? It does appear that today the minority is made up of only Draboso and Bodi. One constituency divided into two. How come? Yes, I'm not member for Bodi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today is the funeral of the late Honorable Sherry Aite, the NDC National Vice Chairman. And as you know, we need to pay our last respects to her. And so, majority of our colleagues are there to pay their last respects. After our proceedings, the rest of us here will also go and then continue on the respect. That is why, for a long time, we have seen that it appears the majority is leading us in terms of numbers. For the last time, very long time, and even if you count, we have about 16 of us against about 7. If you count, you realize that we are about 16 and they are about 7. So we are still leading them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I understand. I recognize the body mathematics, 16. Yeah, leader.
Speaker, I find the comments of my senior colleague very interesting indeed, particularly emphasizing that it appears, for the first time it appears. What he should know is that regardless, when it matters most, any time it matters, we've been able to marshal our numbers and pass all our bills, all our agreements that we want to pass. So I can understand your comments, but on this occasion, I want you to know that we've always defeated you when we want to defeat you. So I think we should proceed.
All right. Point well made. Let's proceed. I have some communication from His Excellency the President addressed to the Speaker and the House. 1. Mr. Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the Constitution, I write to inform you that I'll be traveling outside the country on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, at the joint invitation of the President of the Republic of France, His Excellency Emmanuel Macron, and the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Right Honorable Chris Hipkins, to participate in the 5th Christchurch Core Leaders Summit to be held on November 10, 2023 in Paris. I will also, at the invitation of the President of Paris Peace Forum, Mr. Angel Gurria, participate in the 6th edition of the Paris Peace Forum, scheduled to be held from 10 to 11 November 2023. I will return to Ghana on Sunday, 12 November 2023. During my absence, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, shall, in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution, act in my stead. Yours sincerely, Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. For the attention and information of the House. The second one was received in the House on the 24th of October 2023, and it reads, Mr. Speaker, appointment of justices of the Supreme Court. I hope this finds you in good health and spirits. Over the course of the last few months, in February, May, and June respectively, 3 vacancies have been created on the Supreme Court bench, which now by convention, having regard to its extensive jurisdiction, comprises a Chief Justice and 15 other justices of the court. These vacancies have occurred as a result of the mandatory retirement of Justice Nene Abayate Ofoi Amegache on 3rd February 2023, Chief Justice Eni Yeboah on 24th May 2023, and Justice Jos Doche on 8 June 2023. There are now 13 justices of the court, including the new Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Gertrude Tokunu. In order to fill these vacancies and reach the full complement of the court, I instructed the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, of my intention to appoint to the Supreme Court, subject to the satisfactory conclusion of the processes set out in Article 1442 of the Constitution, the following persons. 1. Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, Justice of Appeal. 2. Justice Yao Asaredako, Justice of Appeal. And 3. Justice Richard J. Frimpong, Justice of Appeal. On 27 July 2023, the Judicial Council advised me by letter under the hand of the Council's chairperson, Chief Justice Gertrude Isabasaki Tokonu, of the suitability of my nominations of these persons for appointment to the Supreme Court. Upon receipt of the Judicial Council's advice and in accordance with my duty under Article 1442, I consulted with the Council of State by submitting the names and curricula vitae of the nominees for appointment to the court. The Council of State has, by a letter dated 11th August 2023, notified me of the successful completion of the consultation process. I'm therefore, in accordance with Article 1442 of the Constitution, seeking the approval of Parliament for the appointment of the nominees as Justice of the Supreme Court. Their CVs are attached. I am fully satisfied that each of these persons is duly qualified and eminently fit to discharge the functions of a Justice of the Supreme Court. I have endorsed their respective CVs for your attention, and I await your response as soon as possible. I thank you in advance for your cooperation. Yours sincerely, Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Honourable members, the nominations are hereby referred to the Appointments Committee for consideration and report. Item 4. Correction of votes and proceedings and official report. Now, members, we will commence with the correction of votes and proceedings of the seventh sitting, dated Thursday, 9th November 2023. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8. Yes, Honorable Member for board, the available leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on page 7, the following honorable members were absent with permission. 1. Abraka Samuel Kujeto. Yesterday he was in the chamber. Honorable Abraka Kujeto Abraka was in the chamber yesterday, but has been marked absent with permission. Was it not yesterday?
I remember yesterday he wasn't. The day before yesterday he was here. But yesterday he was not here. Page 8.
Page 8.
He had been corrected. No, page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Page 21. 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. Page 27. Page 28. Page 29. Page 30. Page 31. Page 32. Page 33. Page 34. Page 35. Page 36. Page 37. Page 38. Page 39. 40. Page 41. Page 42. Page 43. Page 44. Page 45. Page 46. Page 47. Page 48. Page 49. Page 50. Page 51. Page 52. Page 53. Page 54. Page 55. And page 56. Now, members, in the absence of any corrections, the votes and proceedings of Thursday, November 9, 2023 are hereby adopted as true record of proceedings. I have one official report, and that's the official report of Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. Wednesday, November 1st, 2023.
Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee met yesterday at 9 a.m. to program the business of this House in the ensuing week, for the ensuing week, ending Friday the 17th day of November 2023. Mr. Speaker, I shall, on the strength of Order 162 and Order 53, move this House to adopt this report, which report, with your leave, I'll proceed to present. So, Speaker, the committee discussed, among other things, that given the number of questions that we've received and looking at the urgency of them, we shall, in the ensuing week, deal with a total of 49 questions. And these will be for the following ministries. Attorney General and Minister of Justice will have 2. Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources 9. Minister for Education 14. Minister for the Interior 11. And Minister for Roads and Highways would have 11 questions. The Speaker, of these questions as listed, we have 11 of them being urgent questions. Again, Mr. Speaker, we leave in your hands statement that would come and comply with Order 72 for consideration any day in the week. Again, Mr. Speaker, government may cut Friday, 17th of November to Sunday, the 19th of November for our post-budget workshop. This time, we are moving to the east of the country. Specifically, we'll be at Kwahu Nkwetia in the eastern region, and members will be housed or will be accommodated at the Rock City Hotel, a Ghanaian facility. Mr. Speaker, it's not a foreign owned. Yeah. Domestic tourism. Yeah. We were in Ho the last time. A Ghanaian owned facility. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll be at the Rock City on Friday to 19th. Mr. Speaker, we encourage members to come to Rock City well prepared, with all that will be required to benefit from the workshop and acquire the necessary knowledge for the debate. Mr. Speaker, on Monday, we are going to sit. On Monday, the 13th of November, this House will sit. That is a proposal from the Business Committee. Because there are a number of questions that have been approved by Mr. Speaker. And we believe that if we sit on Monday, we can do some other business. Members are to be assured that all that is needed to be in place for their pleasure will be in place. The Speaker, attached here too is the order in which the business of the ensuing week has been programmed, and it is a 9-page document. This report has been printed and circulated, and members should pay attention to the details as attached. The Speaker, I submit accordingly without more. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, I wanted to start from you, but let me start from the left. Come this way.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. Speaker, the first one is to correct the name of a school in my constituency that is scheduled for me to ask on Tuesday on page 3. Question 464. Question 464. Dormitory at Blago Senior High. It's not Blago, it's Baglo Senior High. So that should be corrected. Then, Mr. Speaker, if you come to item 5, presentation of the budget statement, and 5B, post-budget workshop, we are being invited to have a post-budget workshop from Friday 17th, that is expected to be held from Friday 17th to Sunday 19th of November. But at the same time, if you look at the business schedule for the week, we have business to conduct here on the 17th Friday. So I should think that it should be that arrival is Friday and the workshop is expected to be held from Saturday 18th to Sunday 19th and not expected to be held from Friday 17th to Sunday 19th, if that can also be corrected. But I want to appeal to leadership, if it's possible, considering the government's plan to reduce expenditure and looking at the time that we have at our disposal to travel this far and be returning to commence sitting again on Monday the 20th. If leadership can consider, so we have this post-budget workshop right here in the chamber. That could save us some money at this very critical time and use that for other purposes. It will help us so much, and we could demonstrate that Parliament is leading in tightening of the belt. At this time, we need to demonstrate that we are willing and prepared to sacrifice and cut some areas that we can cut. We have a very good environment here, especially when they have scheduled that we will commence the debate on Monday the 20th. And Friday the 17th, we are equally going to be sitting. Mr. Speaker, the business committee should rethink and consider that the savings that we will be making by organizing the workshop here would help to support many things. Yesterday we were talking about renal unit here. We have talked about the disaster that happened in Upper Volta and Lower Volta, and we are seeking to get some water to even support. We can use part of this to get water to support the flood victims. I think the leadership should I'm trying to persuade leadership to consider this at a time we should be looking at saving the state. Then, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for National Security was billed to appear before us this week. Unfortunately, that was not possible. To give us a brief on the Garu and Timpani incident, when a member made a statement to that effect. I've seen that we have planned the week's assignment from 20th, but no indication that the Minister for National Security will be here to give us a brief on the Garu and Timpani incident. And it's a running incident. It's because of the assurances of such a brief that have in a way calmed tempers. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Business Committee to appeal to them to see if they can create space for the National Security Minister to brief us on the Garu and Timpani incident. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Jada.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the leader the issue about the inauguration of the Parliamentary Friendship Association. Mr. Speaker, this is an association that ought to have been inaugurated during the first year of this, in 2021. That's during the first year of this 8th Parliament. 3 years down the line, Mr. Speaker, the Parliamentary Friendship Association still have not been inaugurated. Before we went on recess, I and some few others raised these questions over here. Fortunately, then the Speaker himself was seated in the chair. And the Speaker made mention, or the reason given to us was that some members packed themselves to a particular country. And Mr. Speaker, sorry to say, if that was the case, at least 3 months since then, from now, at least we could just rationalize and reapportion members to other countries. And by now, or this semester, at least the Parliamentary Friendship Association should be inaugurated. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to side with the people or others saying that probably it's because the budget line have been smashed or taken away, such that if the Friendship Association is inaugurated today, there won't be any budget line for them. And that is highly unfortunate. The year or the term has not been ended. We hope there's a budget line for them, so the Parliamentary Association should be inaugurated. So leadership should tell us something, and we don't know why, up to now, the inauguration is still not coming on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the business statement presented by the Deputy Leader of the House. Speaker, the matter of EC briefing the House on its activities, both with what they've done for the year and going forward towards the December 2020 elections, it was billed for this week. If I recall, they were to have been here on Wednesday or Thursday, but that didn't happen. So I was hoping that it will feature in our activities next week. I don't see it reflected in the business. If leader can touch on that matter, because it's so critical that they come to brief us on the limited registration and the matters arising thereof. I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. Available leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I need a clarification from Deputy Leader on the post-budget workshop. Normally, it will indicate who and who are attending the workshop. Is it all members? Because over the years, it used to be ranking members and their deputies. In this case, everybody. Okay, thank you.
Very well. Leader, do you have any responses to this?
Mr. Speaker, last year we were in Hull for the post-budget workshop, and all honorable members were there. The decision was by the business committee, made up of 10 from each side. The business committee is not only made up of leadership, it's made up of other members. So this is the decision of the committee. It is not about leaders being insensitive. I would want to encourage members to be mindful of their choice of words and the approach they take on some of these matters. It's very important. Otherwise, then we should say that we should not take salaries at all as members of parliament, and we use all of that for community service. Such approach is not appropriate. We do so to mislead the public, and we, for the political class, become victims of unfair perceptions about the work we do as parliamentarians. So I will encourage members to be mindful of the fallout of unintended comments in this floor. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, on the Garu issue, I believe that when the statement was made and comments were made, I was tasked by leadership quietly to engage the National Security Minister. And I came to report the outcome of the engagement, which engagement led to the National Security Ministry releasing the gentlemen who were in custody. And I must explain here that at the time I was sent by leadership, the court had already remanded them for 2 weeks. Upon all considerations, National Security, through its prosecutor, applied for a rescission of the said order, which the court granted. And the same day, government ensured that all those gentlemen were sent back to Garu, handed over to their relatives, and as and when they are needed for further investigations, will be invited. So, Mr. Speaker, that matter has been settled. The National Security Minister did what was supposed to be done in follow due process and listening to the voice of this House. So, Mr. Speaker, that matter is closed. We are to finish the post-budget workshop on Sunday. Meanwhile, we've programmed Monday for sitting. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll do further engagement on this to see if there will be any variation. On the issue of the EC, yes, I agree that the EC would have to update the House on its planned activities. As of yesterday, they had open nomination for the District Assembly elections and the Unit Committee elections, and I'm told those interested started picking forth. So I believe that a briefing would be in order. I would engage with colleagues in leadership to see how this can be achieved. Mr. Speaker, I believe I've addressed all the issues raised, except the issue of the parliamentary friendship. Yes. What was your pleasure? What was your pleasure, Mr. Speaker?
So, Mr. Speaker, I stood here for almost 1 minute to ask this question, only for the deputy leader. In fact, I can see that today my leader is in the mood. Today is Friday. That's okay. My question was that when will the Parliamentary Friendship Association be inaugurated? It's been a very, very long time. Your excuse or the reason you gave was different from the one Mr. Speaker himself gave 3 months down the line, since Mr. Speaker gave the excuse. What is happening to it? That is all. Thank you.
That is an
Mr. Speaker, the burden in your question is not clear. The burden in your question is not clear. That's why I wanted clarity to enable me proceed. For the time being, I'm standing in the stead of the chair of the committee. This matter did not come before the committee. I would find out, and I believe that we will give you the appropriate response. Because the burden in the question is not clear.
Honorable Jaja, this is a business statement of the House in the chamber. But the inauguration is an administrative act. So I suggest that you talk to the Secretariat. In particular, I suggest that you request directly of Mr. Speaker of this inauguration. Right. Thank you. Honourable members, the business statement for the ensuing week is hereby adopted for implementation. Now I move to question time. Item 6, urgent questions. There are 4 urgent questions for the Minister for Roads and Highways. The first one, let the Honourable Minister take his seat.
Mr. Speaker, the very hard-working Roads and Highways Minister is in the House. The very hard-working Roads and Highways Minister is in the House.
It's hard-working. Do you want to challenge it?
Mr. Speaker, that comes without question. Mr. Speaker, that comes without question.
Mr. Speaker, the deputy
I'm on my feet.
has said something which he needs to clarify. He said the hard-working Minister for Road and Highways. Hard-working in terms of what? In terms of coming to answer questions or action on the field or translating the answers into action on the field.
Honourable members, we are on questions time and I will call on the Honourable Member for Amasaman.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, leader, let's proceed with the business
Mr.
of
Speaker, we are proceeding.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, he has made an invitation that I should explain what I mean by hardworking. Mr. Speaker, the man is hardworking. What again?
Leaders, thank you. We will program that for debate. But for now, he is to answer questions. Honourable Member for Masama, you ask your urgent question number 6A.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways find the expansion of the Ofanko Amasama in Sawem Dual Carriage Road is expected to be completed, and if the ministry is considering providing link roads to ease traffic congestion on the road as construction is ongoing. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ofanko Nsawam Road, measuring 16.7 kilometers, traverses the Ofanko, Amasaman, and Nsawam districts in the Greater Accra region. The road forms part of the National Route N6, which is part of the Central Corridor Trunk Road. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the road, which was awarded on contract under the project titled Rehabilitation of the Ofanko to Nsawam Dual Carriageway, the works commenced on 20th July 2022 for completion by 20th July 2024 for 2 years. Mr. Speaker, the contractor is currently at site and works are ongoing. Traffic management at site is ongoing to ensure smooth flow of traffic. The physical progress to date is estimated at 40%. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the alternative routes along the Ofanko-Nsawam Road are being used, which are 1. Old Barrier Town Road to Jontay Junction, 2. Pokwasi Town Road to Amasaman, 3. Pokwasi Town Road to Fisi Junction, 4. Fisi Junction to Amasaman, 5. Fisi Junction to Festus Junction, 6. Amasaman Old Road to Toma Junction, and 7. Festus Junction through Fisi. County, Amasaman. Mr. Speaker, the contractor on the Ofanko Nsawam Road has been instructed to maintain these roads during the period of construction. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, any follow-up questions, please?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I'm satisfied with the answer.
Very well. Honorable member for Saboba, Joseph Bukari, you are to ask the next question. That's question 6B.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what is the cause of delay in the completion of Saboba Wapoli Road and what steps are being taken to ensure that the Saboba constituency is not cut off from the rest of the country during the rainy seasons. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Saboba to Wapuri Road, measuring 21 kilometers, forms part of the regional road R092 and located in the Pandai and Saraga districts. Currently, the road has been awarded on contract in 5 different lots, titled 1, Upgrading of Saboba to Wapuri, Lot 1, that is from kilometer 0 to kilometer 4. 2, Upgrading of Saboba to Wapuri Road, same Lot 1, but from kilometer 4 to kilometer 8. That's Lot 2. And 3, from kilometer 8 to kilometer 12, as Lot 3. 4, from kilometer 12 to kilometer 16, as Lot 4. And 5, from kilometer 16 to kilometer 21, as Lot 5. Meaning that the entire road is of length 21 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, physical progress of work achieved as at now is Lot 1, 32.5%, Lot 2, 45.2%, Lot 3, 43.5%, Lot 4, 22.2%, Lot 5, 23.5%. The major objective of these projects was to prevent the Saboba constituency from being cut off from the rest of the country during heavy raining season. Some other objectives of the projects were also to enhance the socio-economic growth of the area, among others. However, all 5 contractors have currently suspended work due to delayed payment for work done. The ministry is making all necessary efforts to pay the contractors to enable them return to site to continue the works. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Highway Authority proposes to construct a 50-meter span bridge, which is very essential and urgent, across the river Tundogu at Wapuri to replace the existing bridge, which mostly overtops during the rainy season. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question was for the Minister to tell me the cause of delay. He has told me the percentages of work so far done. This has been years. I want to know why the road is not completed as at this time we are talking, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if my honorable colleague listened to me well, perhaps he didn't listen to me well, I gave the answer that the delay is due to delayed payment and that the ministry is making all arrangements to ensure that the 5 contractors who have worked to some extent returned to site. And we have made that proposal now, and I can assure him that it will form part of the projects to be undertaken, after the approval of this year's budget proposal, which will take effect from January next year. So the delay was as a result of delayed payment to contractors. So that formed the crux of your answer, and that is the reason. But I had to brief you in answering that question about what is being done. And then you have even gone ahead, because I wanted you to know the weak bridge on that road, that stretch of road, which we have also planned to replace that 50-meter span bridge. So I think that's even good news for you. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister whether it's a coincidence that all road projects in Saboba that were awarded before 2017 are either abandoned or delayed since 2017. I want to find out whether it's a coincidence.
Yes, Honorable Minister. Is it coincidence that all the projects started in his constituency are either delayed or abandoned?
Mr. Speaker, I have stated one thing here on the floor of Parliament, times without number, that all these years, road contracts that were awarded to contractors were done whilst most of them did not even have the capacity to execute the jobs. All these years, you can go back up to 20 years or so, because the very significance of awarding road contract to a contractor is that the contractor should have the capacity to execute the job. Of course, government has responsibility also to pay if interim payment certificates are raised. That is why if government fails to pay within a specified period, the IPC starts attracting interest. And it's not a pressure for any government in office to power up, interest because of delayed payments. It's not, because the more you delay, the greater the amount, and it can even overrun the contract sum. So, delayed payment is a problem for completion of works. And because contractors took jobs that they themselves did not have the capacity to execute, even though the contractual arrangement demanded that the contractor, for taking the job, is like telling the employer that give me this job, I have the capacity to execute it, and after that you pay me. That is why recently my ministry has undertaken reclassification of all contractors. So all these contractors who abandoned jobs are the contracts that were awarded many years ago during the time of MDC, time of MPP, many years ago. From now onwards, any award that is made, is made to capable contractors. So with time, you will see that we will not be experiencing this development anymore, because we are taking steps, and we are taking that step boldly to address the situation. I thank you.
Very well, I'll proceed to the next one. It's in the name of the Honorable Member for Bodi, the available leader today, Mr. Samsiahi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the following roads in the Bodi constituency will be tied. 1. Gaboso to Kalo. 2. Asamansu to Kwasiadu Krum. And 3. Besiansi to Bokabo. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I start with Gaboso to Karo. Mr. Speaker, this is a 33-kilometer length road that connects the Gaboso and Swaman districts in the Western North region. 19.5 kilometers of the road is already tied and in fair condition, whilst 13.5 kilometers is gravel surface and in poor condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the 33-kilometer road project, which was awarded under the contract titled Rehabilitation of Gaboso to Dadiesu Road, that is from kilometer 0 to kilometer 39, in January 2021 for completion by July 2023 under Cocoa Board funding. The contractor is at site by working at a slow progress due to delayed payment for work done. The physical progress to date is estimated at 45% complete. The major activities executed so far are demolition and site clearance, earthworks, drainage, and road pavement. 2. Asawenso to Kwasi Edukrum Road. Mr. Speaker, this is a 4.2-kilometer feeder road, and it's an access feeder road located in the Bodi district of the Western North region. The road has a poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, minor rehabilitation works to improve the surface riding quality and continuous access to commuters was proposed and incorporated into the contract for upgrading to bitumen surface of Kojina Junction to a Fear Chrome feeder road. Phase 3, that is from kilometer 16 to kilometer 24, as a variation order. The main contract, which is upgrading to bitumen surface of Kojina Junction to a Fear Chrome feeder road, which is phase 3 from kilometer 16 to kilometer 24, was awarded on 25th February 2020 for completion by 6 March 2022 under Ghana Cocoa Board funding. The completion period has obviously expired. The contractor abandoned site after completing 40% of the work. The contractor has executed the following activities: clearing and formation 4.2 kilometers, pipe culvert 4.9 number of 1 by 900, 3 number of 1 by 1,200, and 2 number of 2 by 1,200. The contractor has cited delay in payment as the reason for vacating site. Mr. Speaker, the future program is that the Ghana Cocoa Board will be informed about the status of the contract to enable determination of the future of the contracts. 3. Besiasi to Bokabo Road. Mr. Speaker, this road is an access feeder road with poor surface condition and located in the Bodi district of the Western North region. Currently, the program, Mr. Speaker, is the contract for the upgrading to bitumen surface of this feeder road measuring 7.5 kilometers was awarded on 4 September 2020 and was expected to be completed on 8 March 2022. The contract is funded under the Ghana Cocoa Board. The contractor abandoned site after achieving 12% physical completion. Work executed to date includes clearing and formation 7 kilometers, concrete U-drains 1,849 meters, pipe culvert 6 number of 1 by 900 millimeters. The contractor has started delaying payment as reason for abandoning sites. The future program is that, Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Cocoa Board is being informed about the status of the contract to enable determination of the road as we move into the future to be made. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister has just stated that 19.5 kilometers from Dwabusu to Karo Road has been tied. I want to find out from him whether he is aware that as we speak, from Dwabusu to Kalo, there is no portion which is tied because the contractor said that he is expanding the road. And for that matter, the stretch from Dwabusu to Amoya, which was tied, have been removed. And as we speak, there is no tie road from Dwabusu to Kalo.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I address the state of the roads in his constituency in 3 phases. Dwabusu to Karo, Asawinso to Kwasi Edukrom, and Besiasi to Mukabo. And I did say that between Dwabusu to Karo, covering a distance of 39 kilometers, between Dwabusu to Karo, a distance of 33 kilometers, and 19.5 kilometers is tied, whilst 13.5 is untied. And that is what we have on record. And this is the technical information we have. And it's been undertaken by Cocoa Board. And this is a reliable information.
Mr. Speaker, that is exactly my question. The minister is saying that 19.5 kilometers of that stretch is tied. And I'm asking him, or just to let you know that we have been misinformed, because that entire stretch has not been tied from Dwabusu to Kalo as we speak. before from Jabusu to Amoya had been tied. But the new contractor says that he has been asked to expand the road. And so in an attempt to expand the road, has removed the stretch that has been tied. So as we speak, from Jabusu to Kalo, there is no portion of that stretch that has been tied. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this is semantics. We are talking almost about the same thing. The technical information I am giving is that out of the 33-kilometer stretch, from the information from Kokobo, 19.5 of that stretch was tied. Perhaps if the new contractor who came in and was working on the road, and as you said, is trying to expand the road, but in an attempt to do that, he is doing what we call scarification. He's scarifying the road. So in scarifying the road, of course, he has to, do so by removing the tied road and then trying to do the reconstruction. It does not mean that the road had not been tied. No. So it has been tied, but the only thing is that in scarifying the road and trying to bring it to bituminous level, the contractor has not been able to do that. That is a different thing. But the technical report is that that portion was tied, was 13.5. It was the entire 33-kilometer road, but 19.5, which was tied, that was in fair condition. The remaining 13.5 kilometers, which is untied, is in poor condition. So far as the records are concerned, that portion was tied, but perhaps the contractor in expanding the road might have done something which I do not know whether it was part of the work that he was to do, whether to extend the road or to work on the existing tied road. So we are talking about the same thing.
Mr. Speaker, I'll move from that portion to Asawensu to Osiaduku. You were talking about Kojina Road, which is in Sayuri district. I'm talking about Asawensu to Osiaduku, which is in Bodi district. And you have agreed that there's no contractor on site as we speak. And my question is, when would the Asawensu to Osiaduku road be tied? So when? That is the question to you. And you were talking about Kojina Road, which is a different road altogether. When will Asawensu to Osiaduku road will be tied, Mr. Minister? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the question from my honorable friend the questions were specific. Jabusu to Karo Road, Asawensu to Kwasi Edukrom Road, and Bisiasi to Bukabo Road. And I have addressed all the three. So the town that you mentioned, I'm sure might be within one of these stretches. If it's not within one of these stretches, then you did not ask a specific question on that road, because I have address all the 3 specific road stretches that you asked the question on. But you are mentioning the name of another town, which that one I will not know. No, I was giving you the stretch of road that we are building, we are constructing under our ministry's database. So I was just quoting when I said we have in our database upgrading to bitumen surface a road from Kojina Junction to Afiapra Chrome, and it's a feeder road. So it's an information that I was giving. But if you want to know exactly when it will be tied, fair enough, it's a fair question. But this is a project, as aforementioned, being undertaken by COCOBOD. So if you want to know exactly when that will be tied, then we have to refer to COCOBOD to know their program, for the road, because that is not in my ministry per se. So I wouldn't know that program, but it's a question that you want to find out. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I asked the minister specific question. When will the following 3 roads in Bodi constituency will be tied? I have Trabosu to Kalo. I have Asansi to Kwasiadukro. I have Besiasu to Bukavu. The minister is telling me today that his ministry is not handling this road, and therefore he has to go and talk to COCOBOD to get to know when this road will be tied. So I want to find out on what basis are you here to answer these questions? If you have to be given opportunity to go back and seek information from COCOBOD, if you don't have answers to this question, why are you here to answer them?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my colleague is only making noise for nothing. I have answered you that all these roads are supposed to be developed into bituminous level. All these roads, but the contractor. No, you have to listen to me and follow the logic of the argument. Yes, you have to follow the logic of the argument. I have told you that all these roads have been awarded under COCOBOD, and they are to be developed into bituminous level. I've also informed you in the answer that the contractors are not progressing on these roads, and they have abandoned site because of delayed payment. They have not been paid. If they have been paid and they were working on the road, they would develop it up to the bituminous level, because that is the scope of the work. But we want to know exactly when that will be done. And it will be done on condition that the contractors are paid. And payment is not directly coming from my ministry. It's coming from COCOBOD. So I have to know COCOBOD's arrangement for the payment before the work could be done to bituminous level. So please, you have to follow the logic of the question and the answers I'm providing. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't see the logic in what you are saying for me to follow you. You have just said that from Kwasiadu Chrome, Asansi to Kwasiadu Chrome is on contract. Can you tell us the name of the contractor? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody working on that stretch. From Asansi to Kwasiadu Chrome, there's no contractor. If you are saying that there is a contractor on the road, what is the name of the contractor working on Asamsu to Kalo Road?
Honorable available leader. The rented space you occupy, the owners have come, so be patient. Now I'm acknowledging you as a senior member. Right. Yes, Honorable Minister, what's the contractor on that road?
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I will give my honorable colleague the name of the contractors. Gaboso to
Prime Minister, talk to me.
You want to know the name of the contractors working on the road? Gaboso.
No, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, you've asked the question. He's providing the answer. Can they be patient?
Gaboso to Gadieso. The contractor is Michelle Timeliness and Innovation Company Limited. From Asawinso to Kwasi Edukrom, MS Sefas K Limited. And then from Bisiasi to Bokabo, MS Ansima Ghana Limited. These are the three contractors working on the three laws, the three stretches of the road that you asked the question on.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now move on.
Honorable, please.
The next question is also for you.
Question
as what?
Mr. Speaker, there's a little clarification. Honorable Minister, you said contractors working on Bisiansi to Bokabo and then Asamsu to Kosedu Chrome have abandoned site because of lack of payment. What are you going to do to ensure that they are paid so that they can go back to site?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, that is why I have consistently asked my colleague, friend, to be patient, to follow the logic of the answers that I am giving. No, I have told you, I have told you that these projects are being funded by Cocoa Board. I have told you the reasons why the contractors have left site and abandoned the project. And the management in terms of honoring IPC's payment, everything rests with Cocoa Board. So that our duty is to inform Cocoa Board that they should take all necessary steps to pay these contractors so that they can go back and continue with the job. But I cannot stand here and tell you that Cocoa Board is paying today or tomorrow. If I say so, and this is a house of records, if I say that Cocoa Board will pay this month and they don't pay, if the payment is being effected from my ministry, then I can say so because I will know the arrangements that have been made for payment. But I have told you in the answer that we have informed Cocoa Board about the status of this road and the need to pay the contractors so that they can go back and work. I thank you, sir.
Question number 6D, to be asked by the Honourable Member for Bode again. Honourable Samson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Bode to Ahibensu Road will be tied. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Bode to Ahibensu Road is a 10.3 kilometer in length. The road forms part of the National Route 12. It is a gravel road in poor condition located in Bode district of the Western North region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, this road, which was awarded on contract in 3 phases under different routes, titled 1, upgrading of Akontombra to Bode, stretching from kilometer 15.7 to 19.1 as Lot 1. Then the second stretch from kilometer 19.1 to kilometer 22.4 as Lot 2. And the third is stretching from kilometer 22.5 to kilometer 26 as Lot 3. After the award, very little progress has been recorded on the project. The projects have therefore been recommended for termination due to non-performance by the contractor. Mr. Speaker, the future is that after termination of the contract, the Ghana Highway Authority will carry out estimates on the outstanding works for consideration for re-award. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister has just stated that the project has been recommended for termination. I want to find out when will the termination be done?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from my records, normally we have to put the contractor on notice if we attempt to terminate any project. And we write that is not less than 3 letters to the contractor. My information is that the contractor has been informed and warned in 2 separate letters. And the third one will go any moment from now. And as soon as the third one is served on the contractor, the way will be paved to terminate it. So I can give myself a maximum of 2 to 3 weeks from now for the project to be terminated. Then we can have the opportunity to enter the road, take the fresh inventory on it to assess the state of the road, and then do fresh costing and award to a more competent contractor. So that should be done maximum about 3 weeks from now. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, since 2021, contractor has abandoned site. The road has become more trouble. The minister is talking about recommendation to terminate the contract before they initiate the process to re-award for the road to be constructed. Between now and when the road will be re-engineered to be awarded, you agree with me that the road is not travel or usable. What will your ministry do to make sure that the road is more travel until such a time that you re-award that road on contract?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what we normally do, and of course, within the limits and confines of our resources, what we normally do is that until any road in the country is properly engineered and properly awarded on contract to a more competent contractor to work on, we bring all such roads, particularly the critical ones, under our ongoing maintenance program. So a road like this, we will do well to make sure that we give it some either sectional or surface treatment under the maintenance program to make it motorable and to give it some smooth driving surface, particularly during rainy season like this, until the road is given on contract for a permanent work to be done on it. So I believe such a road, and this is an important road, we will attempt to bring it under that program. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can the minister assure me and the good people of Bodi that between now and Christmas, you will do your best so that the road is reshaped for it to be more travel? Because the people using that road are suffering. Anytime it rains, 3 weeks, 1 month, nobody can use that portion of the road. Can you give me an assurance that between now and Christmas, you will do whatever you can to make the road more travel for the people? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have a number of roads across the country in that condition, and that of Bodi will be added to it. And within the resources of the ministry, whatever is possible to be done will be done. So I want my I wouldn't say before Christmas because it's an ongoing process. The process is ongoing. It could be done within November, December, January. It's ongoing. I wouldn't be specific, to any time frame. But what I can say is that it will form part of the projects, that are being put under our ongoing maintenance exercise. So let us work together that your road is done. Thank you.
Very well. This is where we end with urgent questions. The next one is item 7, questions. So before I go to item 7, kindly permit me, honorable members, to acknowledge the presence of Krobo Girls Presby Senior High School here. Krobo Girls is led by Mr. Paul Abrakwa. and they are from the Lower Menya Krobo constituency. You're welcome to Parliament, Krobo Girls Senior High School. Item 7. Questions? Question number 620 is to be asked by the Honourable Member for Nalerogu Gambaga, Mr. Seidu Isif.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what plans the Ministry has for the following culverts in the following communities: Takoratinga, Swansobigi, Gadantinga, Lebzinga, Zwedilgu, and Kukargini. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take Takratinga, Swansombige, and Gadatinga Road together. Mr. Speaker, the background to this road and these communities is that they are located along the Sakogu to Namin Boku to Swan Sobigi to Gadatinga to Takurantiga feeder road measuring 10.5 kilometers. It is an unengineered road with no drainage structures, including culverts. The road is located in the East Mamprusi district of the Northeast region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, there is no program on the road. The future program is that engineering design studies and conditions survey have been carried out on the road, including a determination of the appropriate culvert sizes required at identified sections of the road. However, due to budgetary constraints, the interventions will be implemented when funds are available. Lebzinga Road. Mr. Speaker, this is a community located on the Bombira to Bongni to Lezinga feeder road. It is an unengineered road with no drainage structures, including culverts. The road is located in the East Mamprusi district of the Northeast region. There is no program on this road currently, Mr. Speaker. The future program is that engineering design studies and condition survey have been carried out on the road, including a determination of the appropriate culvert sizes required at identified sections of the road. However, due to budgetary constraints, the interventions will be considered when funds are available. 5. So, go to Kukwangweni Road. Mr. Speaker, this is a section of the Dindani to Kukwangweni to Zogge Road to Somni Bona number 1 to Namasin feeder road. It is a 17.1 kilometer gravel surface road. The road is located in the East Mamprusi district of the Northeast region, there is no program on the road currently, Mr. Speaker. However, the future programs at engineering design studies and condition survey have been carried out on the road, including a determination of the appropriate culvert sizes required at identified sections of the road. However, due to budgetary constraints, the interventions will be considered when funds are available. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister appears to have given a generic response to all the culverts, all the culverts that we are talking about in the respective villages and communities. Fortunately, we are at the verge of considering the budget for 2024. May I find out from the Minister if these interventions will be considered for the next budget so that at least we can have the culverts constructed for lives to become normal in these communities. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker, that is obvious. I have stated that we do not have any program on these roads as at now. But anytime money becomes available, these important roads, that something has to be done. All the about 5-6 roads, have not been captured. So obviously, if funds become available, particularly from the forthcoming budget, and we have funds, something will be done. Even if not all, at least some of these roads, 2 or 3 out of the 5 or 6, it's possible that that can happen. I thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for the assurance he's given, with the hope that he will make do with the promise. Once we are in the House of Records, the Hansas will capture all those things, and we can make a follow-up. But on the 8th of August, we had a heavy downpour of rain that created some major disruptions in the constituency, and lives were lost, farmlands were washed off, some minimal culverts were washed off. And his ministry was there on time, at least to give a relief to only one out of the lot of culverts that were washed off. I made a report to your office, and I happened to meet the 2 deputy ministers. We had a conversation around it. I just want to find out if we can extend the intervention that we did on the stretch of Walwali and Gambaga. Can we extend that short intervention to the other culverts that were washed off? Fortunately, it was Marpuma who came to do it. He's a very energetic contractor. I'm sure if you talk to him, he can give some little relief of gravel and stones to give us some relief so that people can commute from one place to another. The regional capital right now is isolated from all these communities that we are talking about.
You have to ask a question now.
So,
I'm waiting.
Minister, I want to find out if we can do something quickly to bring relief to these people. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, what can you do to alleviate the challenge?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank my honourable colleague for being very honest and truthful. That's heartwarming. He has admitted the speed with which we rushed to the site, to try to work on the washed bridge and the road that was washed off. So that is a fair question, and I am happy you said you have had conversation with, I don't know whether one or two of my deputy ministers, and I'm sure something is being done on your request. I will follow up. I will follow up with them. And as you admitted yourself, the contractor who was put on that job, is one of the best contractors we have with good capacity. And if you have to do a variation order for some extra work to be done, it will be carried out. As for that, I can promise you on that one, we do not want any part of this country to be cut off at any moment. I thank you.
Very well. Question number.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Question number 629. In the name of the honorable member for Karachi East, Wisdom Gidesu. Yes.
Speaker, may I seek your leave to ask the question on behalf of the member, as he's asked me to do so.
Proceed.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what steps the ministry is taking to rehabilitate the road network in the following communities in the Karachi East constituency. 1. Yariga number 2. Ahongo Tamanja. 2. KJB Ngari. 3. Dambai and Krabkwa. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Yariga number 2 to Abongo to Tamanja Road of length 4.2 kilometers is a farm access road located in the Karachi East constituency of the Uti region. The condition of the road is poor. Currently, Mr. Speaker, there is no program on the road. Engineering design studies will be conducted on the road by the end of first quarter of 2024 to determine the necessary intervention. However, the intervention will be considered when funds are available. Kichebi to Njari Road. Mr. Speaker, this is a 26-kilometer access road linking farming communities located in the Karachi East district of the Uti region. It is in poor condition. There is no program on the road currently. Mr. Speaker, engineering studies will be conducted on the road as we move into the future by the end of the first quarter of 2024 to determine the necessary intervention. However, due to budgetary constraints, the intervention will be considered when funds are available. 3. Dambai to Ankara Road. Mr. Speaker, this is an 8-kilometer road connecting some farming communities located in the Karachi East district of the Uti region. It is in poor condition. Currently, the Department of Federal Roads has no program on the road, although the Coastal Development Authority is undertaking improvement works on the first 2 kilometers of the road. The future program, Mr. Speaker, is that engineering design studies will be conducted on the remaining 6 kilometers by the end of the first quarter 2024 to determine the necessary intervention. However, due to budgetary constraints, the intervention will be considered when funds are available. I thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Speaker, we are grateful to the Honourable Minister for his answers. Mr. Speaker, the Yariga number 2 to Temanja through Abongo, it's a little over 4 kilometers, less than 5 kilometers. I know that road. And considering that there's no official program regarding rehabilitation, would the minister consider in the interim some grading works to be done just to make it more travel for the people? Because of the heavy rains, it's deteriorated within the past couple of months. So if some grading can be done for them, I think it should be good in respect of the road.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is a fair question, and it must be done. We have a number of such interventions to make, and this has come up because of the heavy rainfall pattern that has been experienced this year. Throughout the country, the road sector is seriously challenged everywhere. So we will take it up under our ongoing routine maintenance program. But because it's spread out and so many across the nation, some of these things I expect my honorable colleagues to work closely with me, by reminding my ministry on certain things so that we work together to try to improve upon them, particularly when we have every reason to do such roles under emergency situations. So that will be taken up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, similarly, the stretch between KJB and Njari, that one is quite some distance. That's our 26 kilometers. So similarly, if the same consideration can be extended because of the official position that there's no program that has been put together by the ministry regarding it. So interim rehabilitation will help the people to be able to go. It's a largely farming area, so that people should be able to go through and fro for the activities, if that consideration can also be given to them. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it will be given the same treatment, but I want to repeat what I said. Let us work together, so that we focus on such urgent matters. Mr. Speaker is speaking on behalf of somebody and he's telling me that even his own is worse. I thank you.
Question number 861 to be asked by the honourable member for Y East, Godfred Sedi Josol.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways whether the Fonsi Town roads have been awarded on contract, when work is expected to commence, and the expected date for completion. Thank you, Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Funsi is the district capital of the Y-East district of the Upper West region. The road network within Funsi Township is 10.23 kilometers. There is no program on the town roads currently. Mr. Speaker, engineering studies and cost estimates for the upgrading of Funsi town roads is currently ongoing by the Ghana Highway Authority and will be completed by the end of December 2023 for onward submission to the Ministry for consideration. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Minister, thank you for the response. I just have one little question to add. The district was created in 2004. Mr. Speaker, that's 19 years ago. And the town roads are really in a very deplorable state. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, there is no single motorable route in the Wa East district. All the contractors working on some critical roads have abandoned sites. Honourable Minister, some of them know you are my good friend. What will you do to ensure that at least we can go over that hurdle for the people to continue to have accessible roads? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And of course, I thank my very good friend too. Yes, Funsi is very important, for so many reasons. As district capital, and the area is also known for its agricultural importance, farming activities. And there is a policy, of trying to uplift the roles of all district capitals across the nation. We have done so in many district capitals. We still have, a number, quite a few to work on, including Funsi. So behind this policy, like I always say, we have to work together, and it may not be long. It will be the turn of Funsi, because that is the policy of government, that we should improve, all roads in district capitals and regional capitals. But of course, all cannot be done simultaneously. We are progressing, and I can assure you that it will soon be the turn of Funsi. So it's part of the program. I thank you.
Yes.
Honourable Speaker, thank you again for the opportunity. I want to thank the Minister for the assurance. I will follow up with your office and good self so that we can get something done. Thank you.
Very well. Question number 866, in the name of the honourable member for Pro East, Dr. Kwabena Donko. Yes.
Once our colleague has been diligent and has come, if with your indulgence, I'll ask the question so that he doesn't need to come back and do it.
Well,
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Labon, Bomodin, and Nchamba road will be worked upon to improve its poor condition.
yes, the honourable minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Labon, Bomidin to Nchaba Federal Road is about 25 kilometers long. The road is located in the Pru East district. It is partially engineered and in poor condition, consisting of partly gravel and partly sandy riding surface. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the department does not have any program on this road. Engineering studies will be carried on this road by end of second quarter 2024 to assess the appropriate intervention needed on it. Based on the outcome of our study and depending on availability of budgetary funding, the road will be considered for improvement. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, in the interval, what would the Minister do to just, as a matter of intervention, make the road slightly motorable whilst he works on the main intervention?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we will once again bring such a road under our ongoing routine maintenance program to make sure that we give it a smooth driving surface for the time being. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, but on a lighter note, Mr. Speaker, maybe, I've stopped asking questions on road because you and I on the committee know. We do the budget and we put 1 billion CD in the budget to solve a 40 billion problem. So I know he's doing his best, but the truth is that whilst we wait for the budget next week, we need to see more allocation to you. Otherwise, you are struggling to solve a problem we are not equipped actually to solve. I sympathize with you.
Very well. Question number 989. The name of the honorable member for Amenfi Central, Mr. Yao Kwachiaka.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the following roads will be awarded on contracts. Agora Menfi and Kasia Wachlim and Kwasu Road. Then 2. Bordier Manso Amenfi should be corrected. It's Bordier and Manso Amenfi as a Gregor Road. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Aguna Amenfi to Ankasia to Rurantrem and Kwasu Road is 41 kilometers long. It is an engineered road located in the Wasa Amanfi Central District of the Western Region. The first 17 kilometers of the road from Aguna Amanfi through Ankese to Uran Trim, 17 kilometers, is under the management of the Department of Federal Roads. The stretch from Uran Trim to Ankwasu, that is 24 kilometers, is part of the Adesu Afrancia Jukwa Ankwasu Road, measuring 55.55 kilometers. This road is under the management of the Ghana Highway Authority. Currently, Mr. Speaker, Aguna Manfi to Ankasia to Uran Train, there is no program on the Aguna Amanfi, that is on that road section. Engineering studies for the upgrading of the road was conducted with cost estimates and submitted to Cocoa Board for consideration upon their request. Body to Manson Amanfi to Asankregwa Road. Mr. Speaker, this road, measuring 50 kilometers, spans the Wasa Amanfi Central District Assembly and Wasa Amanfi West Municipal Assembly of the Western Region. The road forms part of the regional road R123 under the Ghana Highway Authority. The current program, Mr. Speaker, is that the road was awarded on contract, titled Partial Reconstruction of Bordier to Asankregwa, that is the first 50 kilometers, and Manso Amanfi Town Roads, measuring 1.47 kilometers, constituting Lot 1. Works commenced on 17th March 2020 for completion by 19th March 2023, which has since elapsed. Fiscal progress currently is 9.88%. The slow progress of work is as a result of delayed payment. However, upon warning issued by Ghana Highway Authority, the contractor has since remobilized to site and works are progressing. The contractor has requested for extension of time, and this is being considered. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like the Minister to know that in December 2020, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was in my constituency, that is Ratrim to be precise, and there was a lot of jubilation. He cut the sword for this particular road, and the next day there were a few machines on the road. That was prior to the election. After the election, and there was no more work on the road, and he had promised the people that the road had been given on contract. Based on the answer you've given, you said there is no program on the Aguna Menfi and Kase Ratrim section. So comparing the two, can I ask the Minister, which of you is telling the truth? Is it the Minister or the Vice President? Definitely something is not right here. I would like to know. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, are you aware?
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to put on record that road issues and road matters should not be politicized at all. I do not exactly know what my honorable colleague is talking about. It could be the case that when His Excellency the Vice President visited the place, an appeal might have been made to him. The road might have been in a terrible condition, and an attempt was made for something to be done. It might have been, that decision might have been taken by the regional directorate, from any of the agencies of my ministry, whether federal roads, urban roads, or highways, as the case might be. That might be different from really engineering the road and going through the procurement process to award the road on contract. Because you are talking about a visit of the Vice President, and I am not too sure of what you are talking about. I will find out, but it's not a question of who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Let us depart from that, because His Excellency the Vice President will not engage in anything which is not the truth. Obviously, you know that at that.
Can they ask follow-up questions relating to the answer he has given you?
All right, I think I've made a point there. And the second one is Bordier Manso Menfi Road. It should be recalled that this is about the fourth time I've asked this same question. I think the Minister would recall. And any time I ask the question, the fiscal progress of work reduces, the percentage reduces. The first time I asked this question, it was 35%. It reduced to 20%. Now it's about 9.88%. And the question is it because the road is contracting or something? I can't understand why the physical progress keeps on reducing. Can the minister please find out and give the correct progress of work? And then also, you said the contractor is mobilized. The last time also you said he was mobilized, and I told you that there was no contractor on the road. Today also, the same contractor you say is mobilizing to the site, and I can tell you that there is no contractor on the road. Can you please clarify this situation very well? Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Honourable Member, from your follow-up questions, that should inform you that anytime you ask this question, we give you the current position on the road. That is why perhaps you may see variations in some parts of the answers that we give you. It means that whenever the question comes up, we try to find the state of the road. Because once the contractor abandons the site, obviously there will be deterioration of the road, particularly as it rains. The contractor, if you care to know, on that road is Asabia Engineering, and it's a question of getting the contractor back on the road by honoring part of the certificate that has been raised, and when that is done, I'm sure the contractor will be asked to go back. But following a letter to him, an appeal from us, I don't know, you may do your latest check on it. The contractor has remobilized a bit to site, and I even have in our system now where the contractor, for that matter, is asking for some extension to enable him work on that road, and the extension is being granted. So I'm sure from now you are going to see the contractor back on the road while we make arrangements to honor at least one or two of his IPCs, because the contractor has raised an IPC certificate to the tune of 7.7 million. So part of this money is going to be paid, now for him to go back. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. If I can quote the minister, he said the contractor has since remobilized to site and works are progressing. I think it's different from if the contractor is now remobilizing. I think I share the same road with my colleague, Honorable Amankwa, and he can attest to the fact that there's no contractor in sight. I was just from there this weekend. So if you can please confirm whether the contractor is remobilizing to go to site or he has already remobilized and gone to site and work is progressing. There are two different words. So can you please confirm and let us know the facts on the ground? Thank you.
Honourable Minister, is the contractor on site or going to site?
Mr. Speaker, my technical information is that the contractor has remobilized to site. So I have to check whether by going to site, actual work has started or not. But I can testify to the fact that the contractor has asked for extension of time to enable him work. So whether when he remobilized to site, the actual work has started, I have to check on that because this is the latest development. He was out of sight. Yes, I agree with you. I must be very honest. But I have seen his letter for extension that, which I said is automatic, is going to be granted. So I have to check whether for remobilizing to site, he has started physical work on the road. I thank you.
Very well. I proceed. Question number 1168 to be asked by the honorable member for Norton, Samuel Okujetabra.
I'm most grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways when portions of the Eastern Corridor Road affecting the Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, and Likpe communities will be attended to. I'm grateful.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Central Kofi Akpafu communities are located along the corridor of the road project titled Reconstruction of Allway to Jasikan Road. That's from kilometer 2 to kilometer 32. This road forms part of the National Road N2, also known as the Eastern Corridor Road, and traverses the Uti region. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the road project, which commenced on 6 December 2015 for completion by 7 December 2017. The completion date was extended to 30th April 2021 and further extended to 31st July 2022, which has elapsed. The contractor has further requested for extension of time to ensure successful completion of the project. The estimated physical progress stands at 75%. Currently, works on the reconstruction of Allway Jasikan Road, that is from kilometer 2 to kilometer 32, have been suspended due to delayed payment. The contractor has indicated his willingness to remobilize to site after outstanding payment are made as part of the future program. Likpe and Lolobi communities. Mr. Speaker, these communities are not on the Eastern Corridor Road. They fall along Jasikan, Dada to Lolobi to Likpe Road, which is 41 kilometers in length. Some part of the road surface is surface dressed and part has gravel surface. The general road surface condition is fair. Currently, there is no program on this road. The Ghana Highway Authority will undertake engineering studies towards the upgrading, reconstruction of the road by the end of February 2024 for consideration by the ministry. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for his response. Mr. Speaker, the Central Kofi Akpafu stretch of the road, the Minister indicates that it was awarded 6 December 2015 for completion 7 December 2017. That is some 6 years ago. It has undergone a number of extensions. First one, 30th April 2021, another extension, 31st July 2022, which have all not been met. I want to find out from the Honorable Minister the reason for this. Why do we keep having these extensions which are not being met?
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's true that this road, as aforementioned, which was awarded as far back as 2015, has had a rare checkered history, and we kept on, extending payment issues, delay payments, and because many of those contractors were not, well resourced. When you give them little money, they come back. When it gets finished, they go off. So it has been on and off. But my ministry is now putting in measures, that would make contractors stay on the job, whilst the employer, being government, is also making every attempt, to pay contractors to enable them stay on the job. So contractors have responsibility as well as government, the employer. So if we perform, our size of the bargain, then we may see improvement in the road sector. So we will see what will be done in this matter. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister also adds in his response that even though the project, which is at 75%, has been suspended, the contractor has indicated his willingness to remobilize the site if outstanding payments are made. I want to find out from the Honorable Minister if there is any schedule, if you have programmed for payment to be made so that the contractor returns to site. And if you can share, if there is a schedule, if you can share the date with us so we know when payment will be effected for the contractor to remobilize and return to site.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is a special exercise going on in my ministry in this area, particularly if a contractor works to such a high percentage of completion. Because, Mr. Speaker, roadworks is said that at this 75% stage, it means that the project has progressed well, and the contractor, no matter what, might have also done his best. And it will always be better to prioritize such payments to contractors who have gotten to such substantial stage of completion, because the more you delay, you run down that project. So we are undergoing a certain exercise now that all such projects are being paid, and we are going to prioritize our payments, say 50%, 60%, 70%, completion stages, so that, if you pay them, there's a likelihood that they will be able to complete the project on time. That is not saying that those who are below that percentage are not being considered for payment, but those at that high level of completion stage are going to be pushed. And obviously, this road will be one of them because of that high level that the contractor has gotten to. At least he has done well. So, any moment from now, whatever payments comes through, it will be considered. Thank you.
Yes, your last one.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my last supplementary question is on the Lekwe and Lolobi communities. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister has indicated that the Ghana Highway Authority will undertake engineering studies towards upgrading and reconstruction of the road by end of February 2024. I was wondering if the ministry consider these engineering studies being done a bit, they could be programmed for the year, because if it's done by end of February, then that may take us into 2025. If we are lucky, supplementary budget comes in. So I was just wondering if something can be done about the engineering studies, if it's possible done before February, so at least in 2024 they can have some hope. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, it's possible that could be done because February is still within the first quarter of 2024, which is just the second month of the implementation of the 2024 budget. But of course, yes, I agree with my honorable colleague that if the studies are done, a bit earlier, say before the close of the year, then it can form part of the first quarter expenditure on roads. So it will be considered, it will be looked at, because it's possible. Yeah. Thank you.
Very well. Last question. Yes, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I just want to thank our colleague for the assurance he made on the new arrangement to prioritize projects that have advanced. I agree with him. When a project is 75% complete, it probably means it's just left with ceiling. But if you don't do the ceiling, Mr. Speaker, all the investment goes to waste again. So we are hoping that in the 2024 arrangement or budget, if you can prioritize projects that have advanced to this stage, we will all have been preserving the investments contractors have made, which government of Ghana will pay. So can he assure that in the 2024 budget that is yet to be read, part of the payment we are going to be making would capture the completion of the projects that are in advanced stage so that we can preserve the investment?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not surprised that the leader is coming with this question. You have the road sector all this year, so he understands. Anything around 70-75% means it has gotten to at least primacy level. So I still want to maintain the stand and the promise I gave, because it only makes sense that having gone through the construction process up to that level, is left with little work to seal the road and to complete it, instead of allowing the infrastructure to run down. So that is the focus of the ministry now, and we are going to maintain that. And because of that, we have listed all such roads with high percentage completion. And I can say here that such roads have even been presented to Cabinet, and Cabinet is giving a blessing on it. And even that directive came from the President himself at Cabinet. And my ministry has submitted a list of many of these roads that has gotten to that high level of completion. And it makes sense to complete them, before they start deteriorating. So it's a promise, and that is the way the government, one way government is going to tackle, the road infrastructure in our country. Thank you.
Very well. The last question is to be asked by the Honourable Member for Gomoa West, Mr. Richard Jan Mensah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways what plans the ministry has to construct the following roads in the Gomoa West District. Gomoa Simbrofo to Gomoa Denchira Road. Gomoa Takwa to Gomoa Debiso to Derampong. And Gomoa Manso to Adan Injuresi to Gomoa Ugwa.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Gomoa Simbrofo to Gomoa Denchira Road is 12 kilometers long and located in the Gomoa West District of the Central Region. It is an engineered gravel road with poor surface condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, there is no rehabilitation or reconstruction program on the road. However, to improve accessibility in the short run, a routine maintenance contract for the reshaping of the road has been awarded with the title Routine Maintenance of Simbrofo Junction to Denchira and other feeder roads as phases 1 and 2. The contractor is yet to execute the work due to heavy rains at the project site, which is not conducive for reshaping works. Gomoa Takwa to Gomoa Debiso to the Derampong feeder road. Mr. Speaker, this road is 15 kilometers long and located in the Gomoa West District of the Central Region. It is a partially engineered road in poor condition. There is no rehabilitation or upgrading program on the road. However, to improve accessibility in the short term, a routine maintenance contract for the reshaping of the road has been awarded with the title Maintenance of Gomoa Apam Area Roads Phases 1 and 2. The commencement of the work has been hampered by the heavy rains at the project site. Engineering studies will be carried out on the above road for rehabilitation, which will include the construction of box culverts at the major river crossings. Estimates will be prepared awaiting availability of funds for procurement. Gomoa Manso to Adai or Injuresi to Gomoa Ogwa Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, this road is 12.4 kilometers long and located in Gomoa West District of the Central Region. It is engineered road in poor condition. Currently, Mr. Speaker, there is no rehabilitation or upgrading program on the road. However, to improve accessibility in the short run, a routine maintenance contract for the reshaping of the road has been awarded with the title Routine Maintenance of Winneba Area Roads and others Phase 2. Work is in progress. The future program, Mr. Speaker, is that engineering studies and estimates for upgrading to bituminous surface will be carried out on the above road. The intervention will be considered upon the availability of funds under the 2024 periodic maintenance program.
Yes, Honourable Member, if you have any more follow-up questions.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for his response. But I would like to find out from the Minister. In his response, he indicated that all the roads have been awarded for contracts. And they are waiting the rains to subside before the contractors get to site. In my area now, the rains have actually subsided. The Simbrofo to Denchira Road currently serves as the the main alternative route from Ankamu to the Rampon. Since the main road itself, Ankamu to the Rampon, has been abandoned by the contractor, and the road is currently not in the motorable status. So, with the minister, actually it's an appeal. I'm appealing to the minister, if he can, or his ministry can speak to the contractor who has been assigned that section to move to site immediately, at least just to alleviate the situation that the constituency is faced with now. I mean the reshaping from Simbrofo to Denchira, because currently that is the main route that people from Ankamu can access the Rampon. The main road itself, as you earlier responded in my first question, for the contractor has abandoned sites, they gave assurance of reshaping from the highways. Up to now, nothing has been seen, and the road is currently not being used. So I want to know if you put in an immediate steps to make sure that one will be resolved immediately or soon. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, I share all that concern with my honourable colleague. And where we experience such problems on different stretches of the road, like I said, until there is a rare program for the road and is properly engineered, and even on that road, there are a few boats that we have to build before we can properly reconstruct the road. At least I am happy that we do not have any major river crossing which will make any part of the road cut off. But we should continue with sectional repairs and continue with maintenance program, routine maintenance programs on the road. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to promise him, but I want his personal involvement, and I want him to help us and to help my ministry, particularly as he has asked a question on it, on the floor of Parliament, so that we work together to make sure that we repair all the major areas that are deteriorated until the rains subside. Then we can take up the rehabilitation program on one or two of these stretches. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, no.
Mr. Speaker, thank you once again. Mr. Speaker, in terms of the reshaping, mostly timelines have been given. Last year, the ministry indicated they have awarded contract for reshaping, and they gave strong assurances, but nothing happened on the road. I have to use a part of my common fund to do most of the reshaping. So I just want, because when you talk about we should work together, I have done more than necessary, and I keep doing it because I always get close to the ministry and even the agencies. So I am only appealing that with the reshaping, especially the Simbrofo to Denchira route, there is no covert required now. The reshaping is what I'm requesting, that it should be done immediately so that it can save the situation in the area. So, Mr. Minister, I want to ask that if you can immediately dispatch contractors to get to the site and help with the reshaping. As for the construction, I've already indicated that there are plans to do it. So that is, I just want the reshaping side of it. That is the immediate step I'm requiring.
Honourable Minister, that's an appeal to you. Honourable members, I think that should bring us to the end of question time for today. Yes. You don't have a question before me, do you? Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to take the opportunity to rise so that the road minister will see me and remember the Aroan road. I thank you for the opportunity.
You're out of order. Honourable Minister, we thank you for attending upon the House to answer questions. You're discharged. Honourable members, that brings us to the end of question time for today. It is 20 minutes past 1 o'clock. Yes.
Speaker, we want to lay an item. And so at the commencement of public business, so we're taking item 9A, just 9A. Speaker, I seek your leave for it to be done by the Minister for Roads and Highways. I see the Deputy Leader itching to rise, but I want him to know that I've related to the Chief Whip and we have communicated duly, so if you want to raise an objection, please don't do it. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, the Honourable Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker, while I have no problem at all allowing the Minister for Roads and Highways to lay the papers on behalf of the other ministers, Mr. Speaker, we had agreed earlier that when it comes to the laying of papers, especially from the Ministry of Finance, items that have serious financial implications, we want the minister or the deputy to be here. That was a clear understanding. My understanding is that there was some agreement with the chief whip. That's what he said. And I don't want to doubt him. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that's the point I'm trying to make. I'll leave that for you.
Very well. Honourable members, at the commencement of public business, item 9A. Honourable Minister for Roads and Transport.
Request for waiver of import duties, import NHIL, import get fund levy, import VAT, and EXIM levy amounting to Ghana cedi equivalent of 164,633,012 United States dollars on machinery, equipment, and materials to be imported by Central Oil Refinery Limited under the implementation of One District, One Factory program.
The paper is duly presented, is referred to the Committee on Finance to consider and report.
Speaker, let me commend members for the forbearance and support, particularly the minority leadership and colleagues on the majority. And having regard to the time, I'd like to move the House to adjourn to Monday, 10 o'clock at the forum. I so move. Monday, we are sitting on Monday. Why? Speaker, the Business Committee has programmed.
Honourable, you have moved the motion. Let's deal with the motion.
Mr. Speaker, at the Business Committee meeting, we scheduled to sit on Monday. So they'll be sitting on Monday. With that, Mr. Speaker, I second the motion for adjournment.
Honourable members, the motion for adjournment has been moved and seconded. All in favour of the motion, say aye. All against, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. The House is accordingly adjourned till Monday, November 13th, 2023, at 10 o'clock in the forum.